Hello, everybody. I hope you're doing well. Lots of love from both Apollo and I. I'm excited to see what kind of energy is coming through for your sign, Capricorn. This is for the month of April 2020, but we're, of course, going to be incorporating some of the current events into this. So really, a lot of my forecasts now are going to be about 6 weeks. So the time that you watch it, we'll be looking at that. A lot of what we're going to see in the deep past and past when we lay out the Celtic Cross is going to incorporate some of the energy of current events and things like that. And then as we look forward, it will give you the energy of the month ahead. So I'm really happy to have you here today. And let me just, first of all, give you a proper introduction in case you don't know who I am and you just happen to click. My name is Nicholas Ashbaugh. Every month I like to show up and really give you a pretty deep dive into all of the energies coming through. We'll start with channeled information, and that's what I get when I meditate. It's basically what I see, feel, and hear. And I've got a lot to share with your sign, as I have with everyone. After that, I'll use the deck of cards that I've selected for your sign to look at our blueprint for the month ahead. This includes some of the high points, some of the challenges, and everything in between. And then we expand that to look at health, wealth, love, and destiny afterwards. Now, at the end of each reading, and it really is the latter portion, the last 20 minutes or so, we'll be focusing on things that you can do within your soul to get through things that are happening right now. So this month, looking into April, I had already picked renewal, and this was kind of before all of the stuff with coronavirus had kind of taken off. So it's really important now actually to look at how you can change, how you can be flexible. For your sign, I almost saw kind of like a tree bending as I'm talking about all of this. It's just about not feeling like it's going to be overwhelming. So I'm here to try to take some of the load off and give you sort of, again, like a roadmap to make some smart decisions in your life. I'd like to welcome back everybody that has been following me for years. It's so great to have you here today, especially. And for anyone brand new, welcome aboard. You're going to enjoy today's reading, I think. Let me see if I missed anything here. You can use this for your sun, rising, and moon sign. You can also watch on behalf of someone that you know in your life, so feel free to do that. I'd like to thank Ryan and Maria, who are my moderators here. They help keep everything organized, answer questions while I'm talking. And I kind of operate differently when I do a live reading. I know a lot of intuitives will do pick a card or basically Q&A. I just allow the information to come through. And again, we'll have a meditation at the end as well. And if you want to give back, however, because this is live, you can say thank you by clicking on this little icon, which is next to the emoji one. And on that $ thing, there'll be a bunch of stickers, and you can send like a rainbow or a unicorn or just say thank you. And it's a great way to kind of give a tip. And anybody that does that, when the video is live afterwards, I'll put a little thank you in the comment section. Just know that that helps me buy cards and things like this. So thank you for doing that. I'll give you some more information at the end on how you can follow me on social media. But for now, let's get into the reading. There's a lot to come through. I'm so grateful that everybody's showing up today. I know that a lot of your schedules have been disrupted, and it's kind of, you're trying to probably find some grounding. Your sign was giving me that energy of being grounded, actually. The first reading that I did today, it was very emotional. This one is actually a lot more practical, so I'm excited to see what the cards show in relation to that. I have a very special meditation that I'm doing for the last 2 or 3 signs of the zodiac this month. We'll be doing a shared prayer for everybody, for healing, for basically abundance and success and all of that. I feel like we need that right now. We need that little push. I had a wonderful meditation early this morning, even before I was meditating for the readings, and I connected with the healing angel that was showing me the power of praying for others. So we're going to do that today. We're going to push the energy into a positive trajectory. So turn off the news, turn off the distractions, tune into what we've got to say today, and let's get started. All right, there were 3 major messages that came through for your sign. The first one was actually very business oriented. And it's telling me right now that I kind of saw there's a card that I have in one of my decks for the King of Pentacles where he's like a strategist. And that popped into my head as I was meditating. And the key thing when I'm thinking of like a chess player is that they move many steps in advance. You kind of think of where you want to be and then you map backwards. And I've talked before in manifestation how essential it is to really have a clear insight into what it is you're trying to manifest. And then once you do that, you kind of playfully let it go a little bit and then allow for time and energy and opportunities to kind of fill out the space in between. So think of yourself this month as like a chess player or a strategist, and let go of the stress for sure. And as you do this, it's going to allow for it's almost like dominoes in reverse. I've used this analogy a lot, but I think it makes sense. You can visualize it. If you've ever played with dominoes and kind of like line them all up and then you tap them in one direction, you can watch them go. So imagine that as a strategist, you're going to go into the direction of where you want everything to be up here, see what you're trying to manifest, and then just see all the dominoes come to you, and then you tap it here. And the waiting is for everything to catch up to you. So I see what I want, I'm setting it into motion actually here, and then I'll keep doing my work, and then somewhere in the middle we're going to meet. But the sort of momentum can pick up if you really start to have faith in yourself, stay in a positive sort of place of, I would say, both energetically, your heart space has to be high, but also you have to imagine the best. So there's a card in the pips here, like 7 of Cups, that would actually fit with this, which is brainstorming, thinking of possibilities, and then you bring it eventually into the 2 of Wands, which is holding one of those ideas in your hand and thinking, I've got this, I'm going to do this, it's going to happen. So you are the strategist this month, okay? The second message or the second visual that came through was a bridge, and there was a choice with that bridge. You could either mend it, create it, or build it, or for some of you, you're going to let it kind of fall. And so I think this bridge could be a bridge between 2 people in your life, like you and friend, or it could be a coworker, or it could also be an opportunity that's kind of trying to show itself. So what do you want to do? This is sort of a question that I'm throwing out to all signs this month, because I think you kind of have this existential wake-up call right now. And there's a chance for you to either kind of just keep your nose to the grindstone, keep working on what you're doing, or look around a little bit and decide this is like a sea change moment where I could go in another direction. I could take that energy, I could move it and do something really, really exciting. So for some of you, you're going to destroy a bridge and build a bridge somewhere else. And for some of you, you're going to repair a bridge and think, I need to work on this a little bit more. I have more karma, I have more energy, more opportunity. So these two go hand in hand. Figure out where you want to go and figure out how you're going to do it. So with this, for some of you, for this downtime or for the slowdown that's happening, you're going to be able to really take advantage of it and use something that's intrinsic to your sign, which is strategy and practical thinking. And I think this is going to be a very powerful time for you. I felt very good about that. There was a lot less energy around sort of uncertainty when I tuned into you. So think about what's next, not what's now, what's next and what's after that. That's going to be where you find your power. The last thing that I got was sort of a flash to a movie scene, The Wizard of Oz, where they reveal the wizard behind the curtain. And my guide showed me this for a couple of reasons. What's going on right now is a revelation moment. So for some of you that are noticing certain people not being in the workplace, their worth or their value shows up because sometimes there is a wizard, you know, how his face was projected. I'm the Wizard of Oz, but there's this little guy back there. For some of you, you're the person that's been holding up that wizard, the projection of someone else. It could have been a CEO. It could have been someone above you who'd been kind of scraping off your work or whatever. But in this moment, if you're not there or if they're not there, all of a sudden, you're seen as a valuable person. Maybe for the first time, you're also seeing through your own projected illusions because the wizard himself was afraid that people wouldn't love him or respect him if they saw this little guy. But he was just as powerful in his own body as he was with that projection. So it cuts both ways on that as well. So if you're having some issues kind of being the star, in tarot, this would be the star card. The star card is truth, and it's basically the fully realized version of your soul. That's why it's naked, not for shock value. It's because in sort of old sculptures in Roman and Greek art, divinity was expressed through nudity because it was the divine. There was nothing to hide. And even if you think of like the Garden of Eden, they're nude and they're not shameful because there's nothing to be afraid of. So when you're your divine self, you can show your true colors. You don't need to project something that isn't. So be the star this month. Find out who you are, strategize on like what it is you want to be, figure out how to get there. And if somebody has been sort of skimming off of your intellect, or you feel like you're not being fully respected or supported for what you're doing, this is a chance to break that bridge, pull down that curtain and say, hey, I'm here, it's me. It's also a chance for you to decide, I really want to do this. I'm tired of hiding behind some sort of basically illusion or projection because there's a feeling that I have to do this or I can't do anything else. I'm here to tell you today, if you want to try something new, this is the best time to do it. we're basically in a big reset moment across the world, and there's going to be opportunities when it ends. So we're going to see two or three phases to this. There's going to be this sort of disruptive energy around it. Then there's going to be some denial and acceptance that it's happening. Then there'll be sort of a breakdown as systems kind of fall apart. And then pretty soon business has to start again. I've been referencing 9/11 because we experienced it here in the States. It was pretty much just us, but now we're seeing something on a global scale that's disrupting in the same way that it kind of did then. But life did get back to some sort of normal. It wasn't the same. New York City, for instance, will never be exactly the same after that. But you can survive, and oftentimes you have more clarity of what's important. Sometimes innocence is lost, but you think of what it's like to be an adult. It's also good to know what the world is like. So try to find a nice sort of balance between like the Star, the Two of Wands, the Six of Cups. So childlike energy, the ability to see the future and the ability to be yourself. That's what being an adult really should be. We shouldn't have to let go of the things we love, but we should be strong enough to stand up for ourselves. And I think that many of you, the strength is going to come from within this month. So I'm excited, very strong energy. Let's take a look at the cards here. And for anybody that's going through a hard time today, I will do my best to kind of read this from two perspectives. For those of you that are still continuing business as usual, and for those of you that are out of work, because it kind of is the divide, right? We have people that are in a hospital and they're working nonstop, or in a grocery store working nonstop. And then we have people in an office that maybe there's no more clients and they're just kind of waiting for this to end. So whatever side of the spectrum you're on, I'll try to read it both ways, okay? I'm going to turn the camera down now, shuffle the cards, and lay out everything that needs to be seen. And then if you could just be patient while I do this, I'll be right back afterwards and we'll talk about the messages in front of us. While everybody's joining, I just want to say thank you so much for joining across the world. I see a couple comments about being afraid or nervous. Stick with me for the meditation today. This is a time where we really want to let the messages come through. Try not to give in to fear or uncertainty. I'm here to support you, and I want to remind you that, through the power of us sticking together, working together, staying positive, that's going to be really important to kind of allowing for change to happen here. So this is a nice, safe, energetic space where we can just look at what's possible. So let me do that for you, and just take a deep breath as I go through some of this, okay? Okay, no place like home. So there's the Wizard of Oz connection. This is a new deck that I haven't used, so I kind of get a kick out of it sometimes if I see cards in this. So nestle into the sweetness. So for some of us, we're forced to be at home, or forced to sort of be, some of you might even be somewhere that doesn't feel like it's home, but you're stuck there right now because of necessity. Home is where the heart is. Home is a place that you kind of are surrounded with friends. You don't need a lot. There was a card in the other deck that I just read for the last sign where kind of reminded me of the Fool, which is we don't need a lot to be happy, to be healthy. And with this, what I would say is really focus on creating a nice safe space at your in your house, in your apartment. Even if you're working a lot and you're almost kind of like having a bunk there because you're doing sort of support work, just make sure that you have some space that is your own. And know that if you're stuck at home, like some of us here in California, in Italy, in Spain, across the world, Belgium, I know it's basically going to hit almost every country, then take time now to clear that space, make it a I would say sanctified space. So you notice in this space, I have like a lot of flowers. I have a lot of energy. There's not a lot of furniture in here. I worked really hard to create a higher frequency area where basically my work would be supported. There's space, it's higher frequency. So do yourself credit this month. And if you have time to just sort of be in your home space, clear out the closets, give away anything that you don't need to charity once they're able to take those donations again. In the meantime, if there's any sort of trash or anything that you don't need, just clear the space and create something that is going to clear out some of the, I would say, some of the fear or anxiety. Because one thing that you can think about when it comes to your house, your home, your car, is that a clear, bright, clean space, not only is it healthy right now, by the way, but it also attracts like angelic energy, ascended masters, your guides. When it's cluttered, when it's just basically wall-to-wall stuff, one, it creates claustrophobic emotions. It also kind of pulls down your thoughts, and the type of energy that's in there gets stuck and lower. So I would say really just open up your space a little bit. I think that's going to help quite a bit. The other thing here is I just get this feeling that we're all kind of going through a similar experience together. So make everyone around you feel a little bit more at home, whether that's, we don't get to like shake hands anymore, but you can flash a smile. You can check in on somebody and make sure that they're okay, and extend that sort of welcoming feeling to people, even if they can't be in your space. So I think that home is here, it's here. And we can also extend that sort of welcoming feeling to others. I'm trying to do that. You're literally in my living room, right? So welcome to my home. I hope that you're enjoying this reading. All right, let's go to the center card here. We have the Page of Pentacles in reverse. Every sign I'm reading for this month has a resource card reversed, or showing a lower sort of denomination, like a 2 of Pentacles, 7 of Pentacles, 5 of Pentacles, etc. So clearly we're all worried about sort of taking care of ourselves right now. I think that's natural. It's survival instincts kicking in. And one of the cool things with this card, though, is it's reminding you to take care of yourself, right? This isn't just talking about getting enough sleep and drinking enough water. This is actually about your heart. We get enough of that on the news, right? I think we're all going to go insane one more time if we hear wash your hands and all that. Like, enough. Okay, we got it. I think what this is about is making sure, like, what do I do to feel happy, safe, and me again? Like, I'm not kind of like grounded like I normally am. One thing that I do, you probably heard, I don't know if I said what time, but it was like I started meditating around 4 a.m. this morning. It was very early. Sometimes if you're kind of spiritually attuned, you'll wake up at 3 or 4. I can go back to sleep after that. But if I wake up, what I do is I pray or meditate. And it's very peaceful. It doesn't have to be this structured thing. This morning, I opened up my heart. I connected. I just kind of reached out into the cosmos. It was the same energy that I did to call in Apollo, who's hiding under the chair right now. But when I, this morning, I reached out and I said, I need to get help. I need a healing angel to come in. I wanted to help heal the planet. I wanted to help heal a loved one in my life. So I just closed my eyes, reached out in the cosmos, and I said a prayer with all of my sort of heart, basically, just saying, this is what I need. Can you help me? And when you are really vulnerable, open, truthful, honest, you can connect with a higher guide. If you want to know how to connect to your guide or to an angel, it's through that sort of authentic, I'm here, I'm ready, and I want to do something good for humankind. So we're going to do that today. We're going to share a blessing for everyone. But one thing that I'd like you to do, because you could actually do this with your higher self. You don't have to just call in an angel or talk to God. You could call in your higher soul, your deep knowledge, because you've lived many lifetimes, you know a lot, and just say, all right, I've survived this and possibly worse. What do I do? How do I cope? We can tune into our soul. It's just as valuable. So do that in your meditation practice this month. Connect with that high frequency. I think I might have done that in my first meditation video. I kind of envision it as sort of like this multifaceted diamond, and I can go in through one of the facets and look through other windows and kind of look at different parts of my life. So think about that. You can use that. But this is a chance for personal development. Every sign I'm saying it, it bears repetition. Sorry for those of you that were in the previous reading, but it's important to say. Interesting for your sign, though, we have the Ace of Cups on top of this, which is saying that you might actually find out that, you know, there's something worth celebrating, something fun in your life that you can have some sense of joy and happiness about. So when you start to get back to something that you enjoy, maybe, you know, you were an artist or a singer, and you have this extra time to reconnect and rekindle that flame. It could bring a joy or a love in your life that is unconditional and you might not have felt for a long time. There also might be room for love, even in isolation. I know it sounds crazy. For some of you that might have been just started dating somebody, you have more time with them. The reverse came through for the previous sign. It depends on the energy of the sign. It looks like you're a little bit more open right now to partnerships. So just know that there's a lot of love and creativity flowing through. Ace of Cups is a beginning card. So this could just be a beginning of you starting to love yourself more, right? And I know that sounds maybe corny to some of you, but it's the most important step towards finding external love. If you can't love who you are, then it's really not acceptable to expect someone else to love you. So work on self-love, appreciation, and fulfillment. That's why we have the development card reversed here, the resource card reversed. When you do that, you're going to attract love. So this might be setting you up for love 2 or 3 months down the line. And if you're in a relationship, this could be a partnership, business, friendship, etc. Many of you may be called to use your communication skills, maybe to do a podcast, a web page of some sort to share your journal with the world. Maybe you're going to use your ability to write, do something like I did, write a book or paint. So use your communication skills to express yourself. You have time. There's nobody judging you. It's a good time to do this. If you're in the other end of the spectrum, like you're busy working nonstop, this is about speaking up. Hey, boss, I need some assistance, or I can't work 11 hours. I have to take a break. And for those of you that are working too much, this is also asking for help and additional resources, or making sure that you're not running yourself so far that you actually just kind of like have a little bit of a breakdown. Take care of your limits, I would say. You can only do so much. And if you're a caretaker, whether it's in the like in a traditional hospital sort of type of being, or if you're like a parent, or if you're taking care of an elder parent, whatever you're doing, also remember that you have to be healthy first. So whatever the sort of role of wanting to help the world will be, you matter as well. So any caretaker must be healthy, must sleep, must eat. And it's okay to say no to make sure that you do those things. Again, with partnership opportunities coming through, with the Four of Wands, recent past here, this is showing that many of you have done a good job of creating positive sort of feedback when it comes to like your reputation, how much you've been helping others. You maybe been calling in even a partner, asking for love to come in, friendship to come in, or the perfect business partner to come in. Just because there's delays now doesn't mean that that energy isn't still going to find its way to you. The delay might be there, but that's all. So I just want to acknowledge that your sign is very much primed for improvements in relationships, for new relationships, for love in general. You still have a little bit of emotional turbulence here at the top with the King of Cups in reverse. So for some of you, this could be stress that comes through in a form of a short temper or anger, an outburst. It could be tears because, again, you've been working too much. You're worried about someone that you just can't get in touch with, or you just feel like you're out of control. So do what you can this month. I think the expression card here that we saw with Queen of Swords, find a way to put that into something constructive, either literally saying, I need help, or I can't do this, or creating something that you're going to share with people, a story that's going to help them get through things that you've coped with. Somehow use your communication as a way to get this out. Because if you don't, then it becomes heavier and it can kind of hold you back from the progress, which wants to come through this month. Release control. We have the Chariot in reverse. You can't control everything that's going on. We all wish we could, right? But the other piece of this, if we look at the wizard behind the curtain, I think for some of you, this is that moment to shine. So you have a moment now where your contributions will be more visible than they were before. And conversely, if there's someone in your life that has been taking credit, that's also going to show through. So there could be a step up opportunity either during or after the current events that are kind of shaping and shifting the world around, where you could be a stronger player in a company or in a sort of family dynamic. People are just going to see you as the strong go-to, but you have to believe that internally. And I think that's the only sort of hurdle for some of you, because we have Princess of Pentacles reversed and the Chariot reversed, center card, and in the near future. So if you don't believe in yourself, again, others can't see that. The same way love works, it works with people that want to invest in you, hire you, or respect you. As we look at your ego this month, I think you've gotten one of the higher sort of money cards here. It's the Nine of Pentacles, but the Nine of Pentacles carries two pieces to it. One is independence. And I think that that's really what it's speaking about for you this month is, am I losing my independence? Is it weak to ask for help? Am I digging into the resources that I've saved up for all these years, and will I be okay? And there's a lot of these sort of existential questions, which you're going to have to look at this month. I would say with the Nine of Pentacles, it's telling me that from just a pure symbolic, energetic perspective, you are more than enough. That would be your mantra. I'm more than enough for myself or others. When it comes to resources in general, again, you have a higher one compared to other signs that I've read for. And I would say if it's not the physical resources in your bank account or the people around you, it's your ability to think through, strategize, and find another way. So I feel like this is like research and development, if you will. This is time to think of new ways to make money, new ways to do things. And I've been talking about repackaging, but for you, I actually feel like you don't really need anyone. You just need to make a decision and own that internal sort of value. Think, I've got this, I can do this, I have the requisite skills. And when I believe in myself, then other people will want to invest just like I do. So if I had to summarize it, don't underestimate yourself. How about that? That was a long-winded way to say don't underestimate yourself. And in fact, work on the mantra, I am more than enough. And see what that does for you. You can just leave it open-ended. I am more than enough, ... Because that basically will help anyone that comes into your presence think, I don't know who that person is, but I want them on my team. Or I need to call that person, or they're on my mind. So have that high self-worth, not an inflated ego. It's just thinking I'm more than enough. And I could be of aid to anybody. That's going to really help you out in love, in relationships, and in attracting abundance. Okay, we're looking at environment. Some of you are going to move. And I understand, right? Because our financial situation is changing. Everybody's. I'm saying our because it's the royal, not just the royal we, it's everybody. We are all in the same sort of boat here where you walk down the local main street and you see businesses closed and streets are quarantined and people aren't paying money. And, we're not getting money the same way that we were before. So I could be moving. We could all be moving. So with the world card, just be open to change and opportunity that comes along with it. I like this apartment better than I liked my last one. I might like the next one more than this one. So I always try to think about it as possibility, not sort of like, oh my God, I'm gonna now this and this and this. But one thing that you can do if you're looking at this is to be proactive. Start to set up reminders and sort of search algorithms on some of the, like there's different apps and websites where you can put all the things that you're looking for, price tag, and then have it email you. And get that alert set because trust me, in the next few months, rents are going to fall. There's not a demand for the prices. People can't kind of stay where they're at. So this is perhaps an opportunity for many of you to save money, move, and get into a better space. For those of you that are creative, this is auspicious. This can indicate distribution. So it's about reaching out, and we're already doing this now, telecommuting. But I think especially now, and I'm so happy I'm going to do mine self-released. Who needs a print book? People, I'm going to do print books too, but I think we're looking at digital now more than ever. So like releasing something through YouTube, through Kindle, through non-sort of physical means is going to be super important now. So if you are a business person, look at non-traditional ways to release your work. It's going to be important to adapt to the changing world. Bookstores are closed. So you've got to think of new ways, and grocery stores and department stores. So if you're a business person, look at digital means through which and by which you can broadcast, distribute, and share your message. So that's kind of exciting. This is, during the sort of space age where it was like the Cold War, US and Russia, when they were trying to get to the moon. There were all these cool things, even little things like Velcro that came out of that. And so, you never know what innovations can come during a period like this. So keep working hard, keep thinking out of the box and know that some of you may actually come up with something that you can patent and share with the world and make the world a better place. So this is a good opportunity, but it is going to kind of push, force, encourage some of you to move up, move on, move out. Okay, the world is in reverse. It's upside down in that space. It tells me that possibly in the next 6 to 8 months that you might have to kind of make that kind of change. So just be open to it. Hopes and fears. We have the Two of Pentacles. This is the balance card that I expect to define. It's, again, I'm seeing a lot of Two of Pentacles, Four of Pentacles, Seven of Pentacles popping up. Just do your best to make it work. For some of us, that's going to mean deciding on what matters, right? Maybe we cancel one streaming service and keep another. Maybe we decide no longer to eat out. We're just going to cook our meals at home. And maybe we decide that it's not worth talking to this person because they never ask how you're doing. Whatever that expenditure is, what's the return? Can you do without? You're going to be okay, though. Ultimately, sometimes people get freaked out with the Two of Pentacles, but it's a balance card. So all you really have to do is focus on finding balance. And if something pulls it in one direction, let some of that stuff go, put some other stuff here, you'll find that perfect balance. It's also a work-life balance. So again, for those of you that are feeling almost like you can't stop because you're in a necessary profession right now, do your best to make sure that there is some balance so that you don't get sick. What good is your role if you work yourself so much that you end up contracting, COVID-19 or something else? It's not worth it. Take proper care of yourself. Whenever I'm reading now for clients and I see like 10 of Pentacles or 10 of Swords and Two of Pentacles coming up, showing that there's a lack of balance, I'm a little harsher on them. I'm like, you have to really take care of yourself here and now. So that's my message to you. Don't overdo it. Don't overthink things either. We have the Prince of Wands here in the outcome. Now, many signs this month have been able to have an intuitive awakening. I think that you're capable of tapping into that creative energy as well. Yours came through more as King of Cups than like the High Priestess. But to me, your heart space is a natural sort of portal into God and the universe. That's how I connected to the angel last night. I opened up my heart. So what you can do this month is open up your heart and let it sort of be your compass and think outside of the box. Listen and listen to other people. I would say do more listening than speaking this month. If you're going to do the communication, I think that it might be really good to journal, write, or find other ways to sort of get it out using nonverbal communication. Listening is really powerful in business and life and in soul development for you. Let's expand the forecast. We're going to look at health, wealth, love, and destiny. And I'll get some additional insights into everything that I just talked about. For those of you that I just saw someone say that they love their job. Great. This is a time where you can develop and capitalize on that joy and love. Passion is key, so just channel that passion. All right, let's look at health. So movement is something that's difficult right now, right? We're literally being told to sort of limit how much we move. So here's a great way to do it, dance. I should get the name of this YouTuber. He makes me laugh. He does videos and it's like him and two other people and it's like popular artists and he's kind of like in a sort of, I want to say it's like boot camp style, but he's not. It's like over the top. So anyway, it's all free and it makes me laugh and it brings joy to me. So look on YouTube. You're going to find people that are doing yoga, dance, aerobics. Find some free exercise online and even just turn on the radio and dance around your place. You don't need someone to tell you how to do it. But moving is key. And we are allowed to walk, at least for now. I know some cities it's getting even more kind of constrained. But in your apartment, in your shower, dance like a maniac. Nobody cares. It's really important for you to have that moment of movement. When I was learning how to be a yoga instructor and I studied Kundalini style, my teacher would, once a year, we would have like a New Year's celebration. She would put on like this techno meditation music and say like, dance, get it all out. And then we would do a really deep meditation afterwards. But I loved that part of the way to sort of get the anxiety out. They would have us just and like kind of scream and play drums and move around. And then we would go into a really deep meditative state afterwards. So if you're feeling like all this pent up aggression and frustration, put your headphones on maybe just to be mindful of your neighbors, but play the music and dance around and get it out. And it's really going to be good. Moving in general is what I'm getting at. If you have a pool or something like that, and it's not closed down. Swimming is good, but again, it's going to be harder to do that because beaches are closing, pools are closing. So I think dance is a really great message coming through. Don't sit so much. We have a bunch of cards seated, and I've been seeing that a lot. Actually, all of the cards seated are saying stop it. So and that one's standing, but most of these court cards are upside down, which is just showing me it's time to move a little bit more, get that any of the stagnant energy out of your body. Things like you don't want to get a blood clot. You don't want to just sort of feel like everything is not moving. And you need, when your blood moves and when you're actually breathing, this is creating a sort of movement of energy as well. All right, let's look now at wealth. So we have healing coming through for wealth. So for some of you, you might be deciding to move more into a field of, holistic medicine, mind, body, spirit, or just taking more of a sort of a mindful approach of, again, having that work-life balance that we saw here. Don't be afraid to put a little bit of time and energy into getting some sort of a healing. You can do things like remote Reiki healing without touching someone. So you could get a remote healing that way. There's a lot of things that you can do. Like I said, meditation, breathing, yoga, all of these things are going to be really important to kind of bringing you into a nice place of calm. And I think for you to be productive, you got to take care of your body and you have to work on the stress because that came in wealth. The other thing is, I feel like there's a strong independence coming through as a message this month. So do whatever you can to take care of yourself and plan for the future and do something where you feel like I have a stake in this. And I'm not just the wizard behind the curtain. I'm actually the one in the front. And there is no need for someone to kind of pull the strings. I'm the wizard. So just be the wizard, basically. And I feel like that's going to be really important. Own your inner magician, basically, if I were to pull a tarot card that would relate to that. And with the world card, for some of you, you're going to publish, distribute, or share some of your work with the world. Maybe it's, again, through Spotify, through Amazon, through your website, through YouTube, whatever. This is a time of self-publishing. There's a lot of empowerment with that. I wouldn't be out here if YouTube didn't exist, so thank you, YouTube. But we need a tool to kind of get out there. It's cool. So think of new ways to work, new ways to express yourself, and they should feel better. I think that's the key thing. Looking at love relationships this month. So if you look at this from a distance, I just really look at this, what looks like either a petal, and then it almost looks like a flame here. So if I were to kind of take that apart and say, like, focusing, you can see here, there's a bunch of leaves as well. I think for you, there is a moment right now where you are kind of both part of the collective and very isolated as well. So within this moment is self-discovery and a reminder that we're all connected. The meditation today is going to help us connect to one another. I want to just emphasize that you have a lot of partnership energy coming through, and the cards were in an upright position. So love, partnership, friendship, healing when it comes to relationships, it's all there. There might be a delay, but I see it coming. So unfortunately, there's some uncontrollable things between now and when that will happen, but keep working on yourself, and also not just working on yourself, but loving who you are and who you're becoming. Using that mantra that I mentioned earlier, which is, I'm more than enough, and I'm ready to receive abundance in all forms. Those are two really powerful mantras that you can start the day with. All right, so we just looked at health, wealth, love, and destiny. Now we're going to be focusing on, we looked at health, wealth, and love. Now we're going to look at destiny. And it says, opening up your spiritual source, finding sanctuary. Interesting that we show isolation, right? And the sort of like turret and tower in the middle of nowhere. And within that, you're finding your spiritual connection. And so this month gives you a chance, I would say this month and the next several months, it's a chance for you to gain perspective on yourself, on the soul. It's introspective perspective. Does that make sense? Yeah. You have to look within to understand, to be able to see what's around you. So yes, thank you for answering that. I'm doing a Capricorn reading right now. And we're at a review point, so you joined at a good time. All right, so let's do a quick review of everything that we talked about. We're gonna look at the channeled message, everything that I got when I was meditating. We'll look at everything in front of us, and then I'm gonna expand it to the soul portion where we focus on how you can have a breakthrough. For those of you that might be looking at moving up, moving on, sharing something, how can you get to the point that you're ready to let that go and really begin the cycle anew? So I'm going to turn the camera down and review everything really quickly, and then we'll get on to the soul portion and then the meditation. All right, so do what you do best, which is strategize, which is to look at things from different angles. As I said earlier, imagining sort of working with dominoes. If you set into motion, well, actually set into focus what you want, then the motion comes towards you, the sort of momentum of bringing you close to that, it actually approaches you. So see what you want, hold it like the Two of Wands, and then start to make some strides towards making that happen. You can make or break a bridge between relationships, friendships, and opportunities this month. Just be the wizard, forget the curtain. Be the true you. And if someone is pushing you into that curtain, come out of that curtain, expose that just by doing a good job. I feel honestly that because of the disruption in how we normally do business, it's going to be very clear who's doing what. And in this moment, you can step into your power. Maybe you just even didn't fully realize your possibilities. So be like the star, be like the wizard, be like the magician, and really own that and embrace it. Going on that theme of Oz, there's no place like home, and connecting that with the Destiny card, we actually have this ability to go beyond that space. You go within, then you go without. You understand who you are, and then once you reintegrate or enter into society again, it's an inevitability. We're not going to be under lockdown forever. Whenever you go back out there, you're going to be much stronger and know who you are. There'll be a newfound strength that you didn't have prior to this. Please believe in yourself. That's what this card is saying. That's what the whole Wizard of Oz was about, really. If you believe in yourself, anything is possible. Just figure out what the next 2 or 3 steps are and be patient and be persistent, and you will be able to succeed. Your voice, your words, your communication style is going to be really, really sort of like the secret sauce and essential to your success. So is the relationships that you've built. And even though you can't necessarily see everyone like you could before, the Four of Wands is a reminder that they're only a phone call away, FaceTime away, or text away. Focus on your happiness. Some of you said you're really happy. That's awesome. Use that, channel it, and finish whatever you're working on. If you're sad or if you're feeling uncertain, use something like we saw here, dance or exercise or art to express, channel, and diffuse that. Think of a pressure cooker. If you take that valve off, all the pressure goes away and you can open the lid. If you open the lid while that thing is kind of shaking, you're going to have a big problem. So you have to remove the valve and let some of that pressure out. I feel like some of us are like that pressure cooker right now. This is a time when we don't necessarily have control over what's going on. We don't even have a say in certain things. That's why the Chariot's reversed. So control what you can. Control the way that you think. Control the way that you react to your own emotions and how you channel your emotions. And then decide to do something productive with them. 9 of Pentacles is a reminder that everything that you've built up so far, it's not necessarily going to fall apart. We just have sort of a possibility right now where you're going to have to try things in a different way. So keep your vein of independence, but maybe reimagine it. And then if you've been holding on to someone, something, or an idea, it's time to share it and expand it. 2 of Pentacles, work-life balance, especially for those of you in professions that are being tapped out right now. Say no, ask for help. At a certain point, you can only do so much. You're human. Prince of Wands reversed. It's a mini management card. It's showing me really great ability to sort of manage affairs, but sometimes all this other stuff going on in your life, only work with someone that really is ready to receive that kind of assistance. Find ways to express your emotions, your joy, find joy in your life. That's going to be really important. In wealth, make sure that you are feeling supported, happy, that if you are happy, then help others that might be in a place where they're not, because ultimately this is a service card since it says healing. Some of you may be stepping into doing intuitive healing or psychic work as well. In love, you're one of many, but you're also an individual. So this month, you look at this is like a tower as well. Here we have 2 towers next to each other, and they're not necessarily the normal version of a tower. This is a turret, but nonetheless, things are changing, and they're changing through isolation. And through isolation, you're forced to see who you are. And through understanding who you are, you understand what you can do. And you kind of release some of those feelings of inadequacy. So I really feel like there's this strength building and revelation that's happening. And again, focusing on embracing your inner wizard this month is going to be really important. Let's expand your forecast now to look at the soul portion to see what you can do for getting into the world energy, expansion, trying new things, taking a risk. Or we're going to look at past, present, and future. Things that are either in the past helping you or perhaps hindering you. Seven of Pentacles, it's been coming up a lot. So this is, as much as it is about sort of worrying about debt or overspending, it's also about healing. So when we look at it through the context of healing, what it could mean for some of you is there was perhaps an experience where you just kind of lost a little bit of confidence. And it can also come through, you know, a loved one in your life that says something and maybe one or two passing comments here and there, but it just adds up over time. So what you're going to do this month, notice how they're kind of taking, you know, they're kind of clipping away a piece of old branch that's dead here. And I want you, it's almost like, what is a reaper hold? It's a scythe, yeah. So it's that kind of thing. Basically, you're going to take something that no longer works in your life, or a feeling or a thought or a person, and basically cut the cord. I'm no longer attached to that energy, to that thought, to that person. A little bit of the death card energy was coming through as I saw that. So goodbye to this, but you're going to transform it because death is transformation. And you're going to decide now, I'm going to take the energy that I was spending feeling angry, holding some sort of a grudge, or feeling hurt, put that and reinvest it, because my true energy is that it was in the soul. So it is, this is you. You're the Nine of Pentacles. You're not the Seven of Pentacles. It's reversed, so you don't believe it yet. It's because someone took something from you, a thought, some power, whatever. You're going to reclaim it. And so in our meditation, before we heal the planet, I'll try to get a little bit of reclamation. So let me write down that so I remember it, so that you can reclaim power. Okay. Let's now look at present opportunities. The wheel. So this is cool. You got the World and the Wheel of Fortune. Now notice that this particular wheel is about also, in my meditations, I do this quite often. I'll say, take your hands, rub them together, and create a circle around your body. So one of the reasons I do this is to contain energy and to really help keep you grounded. So we'll probably do that as well. I want to make sure that you can feel like you're in your power space. And this is a visualization of what I'm trying to tell you to do. I love this card for that reason. The Wheel of Fortune also for me indicates a 1-year cycle. So we are in the midst of what might be a 1-year change of events, right? I've heard anywhere from 12 to 18 months. I think we have at least 4 to 6 months of really big shifting. And then this card is showing you're on a new journey. Might as well hop on board because things have changed. Things are changing, and the old paradigm isn't working right now. So we're going to have to be flexible. I mentioned that tree that was bending. Sometimes we're going to have to just cut out old habits. So if you do that, guess what? Success. I mean, the Wheel of Fortune and the World are, again, very positive, auspicious cards that lead to good things. So you are also more than enough. That's what this is saying, Wheel of Fortune, okay? It's time for a change. If you're not moving from your job or your place, there's something else developmentally that wants to open up. At the very least, some success and abundance in the long term. Maybe not right here, right now, but if you kind of play the long game and keep working hard, a year from now, a lot of this could pay off and you'll find yourself in a completely different space. So be patient. And that's the domino that you're going to keep your eye on, is that Wheel of Fortune in the future. All right. Looking at the future for helping you make this renewal, reinvention, rebirth moment. Positivity, 9 of Cups. It's hard right now, right? You turn on National Public Radio or the news or whatever, and there's a lot of crazy stuff to listen to. But I also think there's a lot to be grateful for. And what you can do is really kind of go to the basics. I talked to other signs this month about it, but let's kind of review, because not everyone listens to all of the videos. I think it's important to think of the little things that you're grateful for. If you have a family and they're healthy and they're around you, then you could say today, I'm just happy to be alive and to be able to say hello to the ones that I love. If you own your own house right now, it's a great time to have your own house and not have to have rent or mortgage. So you could just say, thank you for I don't have that extra bill that everyone else has. If you're doing well financially, don't feel guilty, just be happy. And if you can help people, help people. Just be like, I'm grateful that I worked so hard, because some of you did a good job. You're Capricorn, of course you were. So you worked hard to get where you're at. So I'm grateful for my abundance, and I'll try to share wherever I can. And then the basics. If you can breathe, eat, and go to the bathroom on your own, these are basic human dignity type things. Say thank you. And if you need help with any of those and you have someone that can help you, be grateful for the help. So basics, like you can go to the basics and find gratitude. And if you build on these little basics, you can start to feel your heart grow with each sort of thing. And then, well, I'm grateful for the flowers and the sun and this and that. Like, go to those levels. I think we need it right now, because if you just focus on lack will attract, that's a tongue twister, going into a place of poverty kind of mentality, it attracts less. So when you constrict your heart, when you constrict your imagination, you also constrict the opportunities around you. When you think I'm grateful for these things, I believe I can move through this, I can bend like a willow tree, then you can get through it. So be positive, express gratitude, be grateful, and then be flexible. I think that's really what the Nine of Cups is saying. And don't go to extremes, because this is a card of drama. This is like telenovela. Very happy, very sad. So try to be either in the middle or staying in the higher end of that, okay? So now we're going to do a very powerful meditation. We're going to help you, I wrote this down, to reclaim. We'll work on the reclamation, whoever took that stuff away in the Seven of Pentacles that I see. Then we're going to work on creating a boundary. And then I'm going to push us out of our bodies, and we're going to, if you can't, join later, but you're working from home, so what's your excuse? Stick with this, listen to it. You've been with it this far. We've got about 10 minutes more, you can do it. All right, close your eyes, take a nice deep breath. And I want you to stand tall in this moment. Imagine that you are like, one of the tallest buildings in your city, or like the Statue of Liberty, standing really, really tall, stretching your arms upright, allowing for love, light, and all of the stars to kind of shine into your crown chakra. Take that energy as you breathe and feel that you are filling up your Ace of Cups that's kind of superimposed over your body. Allow the light to come in. Inhale. On the exhale, you can put your hands in your lap. Put them in a cupped position, by the way, left hand, then right hand, and then put that in your lap so that you are able to receive. And imagine yourself in nature. We're going to go outside for this. So imagine that it's just a beautiful, serene forest setting. And springtime or summer, when it's warm but not too hot, I want you to find a tree that we saw here in the Seven of Pentacles, something that's older, that has a lot of branches, and I want you to look at the low-lying fruit on that. Realize that you've worked really hard to create that. A lot of times when we look at Nine of Pentacles, we see indication of fruits of your labor. So take a moment and just recognize this tree of your life, this tree of life behind you, and look at all of the different layers. If you were to cut it open, you could see all the rings corresponding with the years of your life. And in this one moment, just give it a hug and feel that you are connecting with the tree. Your heart space is melting with the trunk. And as you connect your heart to the trunk, I want you first, again, to kind of go up into the firmament, feeling the light and the energy from the sun, from the moon, from the stars. And then as you move in the other direction, feel a connection to the planet, to the core of this earth. And allow yourself to be squarely between the sun and the center of the earth, receiving love, light, and abundance, and receiving protection, nurturing energy from the earth, and also grounding. Now, as you start to melt into the tree, I want you to imagine that your energy, your spirit, could kind of go up through the leaves, travel out of the tree. You can go back anytime you would like, and see yourself now among the stars. I want you to, in this moment, reclaim your cosmic and divine right to shine just as bright as every star in the sky. And I want you to take that light and shine it on the planet, sending love, sending healing, sending light and abundance to everything below, knowing that you have so much bright light, brilliance, love, and intellect to share that there's nothing left to do but to let it overflow and share it with the world. Feel yourself in a moment of absolute abundance as I play the singing bowl. Let the frequency of this sound amplify your light so it shines even brighter. Take a deep breath. For those of you on headphones, turn the volume down. For everyone else, just enjoy the sound. before we enter our bodies, I'd like to say a momentary sort of prayer with everybody here. Truly realize your energy, your light, your insight. Know that you were brought to this planet for a reason. And in this moment, hopefully you've discovered again that power, that divine right that you have to shine, to be happy, to be successful, to experience love. That love energy was clearly coming through earlier. It's there if you want it. It's there if you need it. There may be some delay, but I see that coming through. I see a lot of abundance and success for you as well. So you can move through this moment in time. Gently allow your energy to travel from this newfound star-like entity, travel through one of your beams of light towards that tree on earth. And as you go into the leaves, into the branches, into the trunk, reemerge into your heart chakra. And with each breath that you take, feel that your consciousness comes back in to your body, entering through the seat of knowledge, where the ancient Egyptians knew quite wisely that we were able to see things for what they truly are. Take a nice deep breath, inhale. Feel your body snap back into place, both spiritual and physical. Exhale, letting go of any sort of old trappings from the past. Imagine that you can take your hands and create that circle that we saw in the wheel card. You can rub them together to feel the new star-like energy that you've connected with. Create a circle and feel that it actually is being formed around you. It's like a halo. It'll drop down or it'll go up, wherever you want it to be, that halo is going to be around you. Take your hands, left hand on your heart, right hand on top. Seal off this entry that you've created back into your body. Feel that you're fully back into yourself, and just give a moment of gratitude for being present, for receiving healing. And let's send, again, a lot of love and light to the world. Everybody needs it right now. Gently open your eyes when you're ready. Thank you and welcome back. And I feel so blessed today that I got to do 2 really powerful meditations, send some love and light to the world and help a bunch of people. So makes me feel happy that I could do that. I hope it helped you out as well. For anybody that's been kind enough, I saw a lot of stickers and a lot of super chats. Thank you for anybody that did this. You made it worth my while today and you helped me. So I appreciate that. I'm trying to lift you up. So thanks for lifting me right up as well. If you would like to stay in touch, there's a lot of ways you can do it. So easiest way is to join me on social media. I'm on Facebook. I'm also on Instagram, and I use stories quite a bit in Instagram and on Facebook. Facebook, YouTube, and Patreon, it's just my full name, Nicholas Ashbaugh. So you can go at Nicholas Ashbaugh, join me there. Patreon is a sustaining way to do it, so you can do as little as $1 a month. It makes a big difference. I know we don't have a lot right now, but that little bit helps. You can also click the join button on YouTube. Again, Instagram is a great way to connect. There's an underscore between my first and last name. You can join me on Twitter. It's just first initial, last name. And I try to send out a tweet every day that I do a live reading, or 2 in the case of today. And of course, all this information is on my website, nicholasashbaugh.com. So would love to have you connect with me. If you're looking to book an appointment or just kind of find out more about me, go to my website. And for those that are super old school, again, it's just my full name at paypal.me. So all these links, I know both Ryan and Maria have been kind enough to put out there. So thank you. For everyone who showed up today, just a reminder, you're in a community here that supports and loves you. And every day is a step further. We're just taking it a day at a time, a card at a time, a breath at a time, right? So I'm doing my best to help you do the same. Return the favor to someone else. Show them that you love and care for them. And I wish you all the best. A lot of good abundance cards came through for you. Ace of Cups, 9 of Pentacles. So that is still there even through this sort of ups and downs that we're all experiencing. So best of luck. Take care. And thank you everybody for showing up today and for sticking around. I see a lot of you stayed for the meditation. From my heart to yours, be well, and I'll see you soon. I'll be back again on Sunday and Monday. You can check out my website for the schedule. Bye guys. Thank you.